Well, morning. I've got some good news for a change. Say, what is this? Taking some pictures?
As a matter of fact, I have. I think it's the first time I used that camera you gave me last Christmas.
I think it was the Christmas before last, actually. Who on earth is this?
Why, don't you recognize her? It's Hester Atherton herself.
I don't know. It looks like an old lady selling newspapers to me.
It is. I saw her on a street corner. Hasn't she a wonderfully old face? It's just the sort of face I imagined Hester would have when she's transformed into the malevolent witch.
I see. So you took these pictures to act as a kind of model. Hmm?
Exactly. You know I like to create my own makeup, Owen, but I need some inspiration. And my little old newspaper woman is absolutely perfect. If you don't believe it, ask Mr. Archer.
Listen, I heard all about Tread Archer and the way you tried to scare him. Listen, no, it wasn't really such a good idea. That guy's nervous enough as it is, you know?
Oh, I had to test how real it is. Owen, I want it to be real, everything about this part. Maybe witches like this didn't actually exist, but I want the audience to feel that Hester Atherton does. I want to be Hester Atherton.
You always did like to live your roles, didn't you?
Yes, and I want to live this one. I've read every word of her autobiography. I almost feel as if I've lived her life. And who knows? I may even develop her powers.
As a witch?
Yes. Do you know what I'd do with the power if I had it? The first thing I'd do is make a love potion. So I can make you love me again.
Look, Noah, this is neither the time nor the place to get into all that, huh?
No, of course it isn't. I'm sorry. We have to get down to business, don't we?
That's right. We're already 2 weeks behind schedule, and on our budget, that's a near disaster.
Well, when you came in, you said there was good news for a change.
Oh, yes, there is, actually. I cast the role of Tom Halifax. Yeah, the actor we saw at the Monticello Playhouse. You remember the one you liked so much?
Yes. Rafferty. That was his name, wasn't it?
Right. Chris Rafferty. Well, we finally came to an agreement last night, and he's out there on the set right now, just raring to go.
Oh, wonderful, Owen. I think he'll be very good. I just hope he isn't afraid of ghosts like Mr. Archer.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's a good idea that Trent didn't come with us last night to hear what happened to the night watchman.
Why, are you going to replace the watchman?
I'm going to have to. He's too frightened to death to come back to work. Nola, do you know that he actually believes that he saw the ghost of Hester Atherton roaming around the set? Oh, by the way, did I tell you what Eddie is planning to do about that?
What's that? Conduct a seance?
Well, actually, you're pretty close. What he's done, he's hired a psychic to come onto the soundstage tonight and exorcise the devil or whatever psychics do.
Are you serious?
Well, it's a half serious. At least Eddie is. Well, the psychic that he's hired is April Scott. Do you remember her?
Yes, of course, Margo Dorn's daughter. Right. She doesn't seem like a medium to me.
Well, she isn't exactly, but apparently she's had some sort of supernatural experiences which gave Eddie the idea. Of course, the fact that her mother owns the TV station and her sister-in-law is the anchor person on the 6 o'clock news doesn't hurt.
Eddie really works all the angles, doesn't he?
Yeah, doesn't miss a trick. Well, listen, when you're ready, come out in the set. Jason wants to rehearse the first scene with you and Tom Halifax.
I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Okay, see you out there.
Fever rack, bones crack, savage creatures wild, inferno to his ancestors, and death unto his child. Thus do I curse the faithless lover.
What's happened to Margo? It almost sounds like the plot of that Mansion of the Damned movie. Have you heard about that?
Oh, of course I have. Trent Archer told me all about it at the movie. The heroine is a spinster who never married because her daddy turned away a man who he considered to be a fortune.
Yeah, so she waits all her life for another fortune hunter to come along, and when he does, she accepts him with open arms.
You know, I guess Margo knew what she was accepting when she married Elliott. But now she's alone again. I wonder if this movie has a happy ending.
Working together, Mr. Rafferty. I really enjoyed your performance at the theater.
Well, I guess you know I've never made a movie before, and it's quite an honor for me to make one with you.
Thank you.
And with you too, Mr. Archer.
Well, how kind. Maybe Mr. Madison will see that you have a special line in the credits. Introducing Chris Rafferty.
Please, girls and boys, let's not worry about credits. Not yet. We haven't shot 1 foot of this picture yet.
So, why don't we get started? Chris, are you going to need a script?
No, sir. I've got this scene down fairly well, I think.
And you just started last night? Well, I think you have a find, Owen.
Center stage, everybody, please. Anola, you know who you are. Hester Atherton, spinster lady. Plenty of money, plenty of yearning for romance. And you, Tom Halifax. You're the charming rogue who's going to give her what she wants. Let's see if we can't get through this without anything else going wrong.
Why, what's been going wrong?
You mean you haven't heard about the curse on this movie, Mr. Rafferty?
Curse.
Please, Nola, let's just stop this nonsense and do the scene. All right?
What an interesting home you have, Miss Atherton. I feel as though I've been cast back into medieval times.
My father was fond of the era, Mr. Halifax. He seemed comfortable in these surroundings.
And do you?
I have visited the university where you teach. Some of its buildings are not unlike this one.
Well, I'm not actually a teacher. Did I give you that impression?
I thought that's what you said.
Well, no, the truth is I'm a student. A graduate student, of course. I have a small income from my deceased parents, which gives me just enough wherewithal to pursue the literary muse.
I see.
A line.
I know what you're thinking of.
I know what you're thinking, of course. And you're right. You're looking at a failure.
I had no such thought.
Oh, you're looking at a true failure, Miss Atherton. Those poor beggars you see on the street, those wretched bankrupts and drunks, oh, they're not genuine. They had nothing to begin with. No money, no family background, no education. No. A true failure must squander his fortune, shame his family, and forgo his education. I have done all this successfully.
I think you're jesting with me, Mr. Halifax.
Oh, do you really think there's a lower class of human being than a man who is a perpetual scholar? One who has to be indulged like a schoolboy when he shaves every morning and who wenches every night? I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I know a little of the world. I've been here long enough.
Not more than 30 summers, I'm sure.
They didn't teach you arithmetic at your university.
They taught me one thing, an appreciation of grace and beauty.
But you said you're not just a scholar, you're an author.
Oh, I will be when my book is complete. But that is something that cannot happen without you, Miss Atherton.
Why me?
Because you have something I need. Something I believe is in this very house. A ghost.
What?
You have the spirit of Hester Atherton here, your namesake. That venerable ancestor hanged as a witch 200 years ago, only yards from where we stand. Surely you must have heard of her.
I've heard far too much of her, Mr. Halifax, and far too much of witches in this town. To my mind, the worst curse ever visited on Salem has been the obsessive interest of curiosity seekers.
And what of Hester's curses, Miss Atherton? Have you found them?
Certainly not.
Now, everyone I've talked to believes that they're still concealed in this very house. That Hester Atherton concealed her spells here just before her arrest by the magistrate, John Hawthorne.
Well, I'm afraid you're mistaken. You've been victimized by a false and ridiculous rumor. No documents of that nature are in this house. If they were your only reason for this journey, you've wasted your money and your energy.
Rather, having so little of either, perhaps I should say thank you and good day.
Mr. Halifax, wait. The least I can do is to offer you a cup of tea.
Enchanted, if you don't mind the word.
That was good, kids. That's great, but it can be even better.
Trent, You all right?
Yes, damn it, I'm fine.
While Nola's getting ready, why don't we run through your scene with Tom Halifax, Trent?
Oh, I suppose we might as well. Now, don't tell me that you know this scene by heart, too, Mr. Rafferty.
Oh, I may have to look at the script once in a while.
Here you go, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, let's go over here where we can do it. Now, as you know, this scene is very brief, but I think you should both be aware of the subtext. Now, Tom does not know that you are the devil himself, but he does know that you have a strong influence over Hester.
No, right. What shall we start it?
Are you okay, Trent? You look a little warm.
Now, don't worry. I'm not going to pass out again. Let's do the scene.
Ready when you are, CB?
I understand you're interested in making a purchase from Miss Atherton.
Yes, indeed. I am. A very interesting purchase.
May I ask what you believe the textile mill to be worth?
Oh, the mill. Oh, yes, the mill. Well, that's hard to say, Mr. Halifax. You see, I'm really not a judge of that sort of property.
Well, surely if you wish to buy it, you must have some idea. You see, I'm a good friend of Miss Atherton's. You might say I'm looking after her interest.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you're looking after them very carefully. But, doesn't Mrs. Atherton have an attorney that handles her affairs?
Oh, Mr. Whalen looks after business matters. I look after the affairs of the heart. You see, Miss Atherton and I are to be married shortly. So you might have to make your deal with me.
Oh, deal with you? Well, that would hardly be a challenge, Mr. Rafferty. What is it? Halifax. Mr. Halifax. I think that I do know, after all, that what I want, I have already got. Laugh.
Very good.
Oh, it is so hot in here. Why is it so hot in here? When are we going to do Nola's scene?
She's on her set right now, Trent. Come on.
Well, then let's get over there, huh? Oh, that's nice reading.
Thank you.
Are you all right?
I'm fine.
Ready, Nola?
Yes.
Okay. Now we'll start on page 60. Now, Chris, you're aware of the situation. Hester has caught you with Patience Revere playing kissy face, and now you're trying to convince her that it was just a harmless flirtation. Everybody ready?
Okay. Hester, please open the door. Let me talk to you.
Go away.
Please, my darling. What you saw meant nothing. Nothing at all.
Oh, you're a liar. You don't love me. You never loved me. Now that simpering girl.
Let me in.
Go away, I said. I have important things to do. Prince of eternal darkness, come unto me. Master of foulness, hold out thy hand. Breathe thy tongue of fire upon my face. Scorch my lips with thy searing kiss. Brand my soul with the irons of hell. I accept thee, Lord of evil. My heart yields to thy power. Euphas, Metahim, Frugativi, et ab alavi. Thus I evoke thee, Satan.
Trent! Takes care of that. Yeah. Oh, look, is it important? I was just on my way out. Oh, all right. Yeah, I'll talk to him. Hello, Mr. Madison.
Hi, Doctor. Listen, I'm sorry to do this to you again, but I'm afraid we have another medical emergency out here.
Is it Mr. Archer?
Yeah, he's even worse this time. I'm afraid he's just passed out. Now, look, I would have called the ambulance, but I'd rather have somebody out here who knows something about his case.
Well, I was just on the way to the hospital myself, but it's not that far out of my way. All right, I'll stop by and take a look at him.
Great.
Darling, you don't have to retype this. Just make the changes in pencil, and I'll have someone retype it later.
All right.
It looks easy.
Well, it's absolute coolie labor, and I really appreciate you helping me with it.
Oh, listen, I don't mind. I know you're short-handed with April gone. I really miss her.
Well, I'm just so happy for her. I mean, I know how upset she was. She wanted to keep little Jamie Swift so badly, and now here she is, going to have a baby of her own. It's just about the happiest miracle in the world.
Yeah, it is.
But I never really understood happiness. I mean, I always figured there was kind of a law of compensation. I mean, for every period of misery, one would have a period of happiness.
That's a very comforting theory.
Yeah, except it works both ways. I mean, just when you think you have a little...
Margo, look, don't you think that you're trying just a little bit too hard? No, listen, I know that you have a lot of work here at WMON, but maybe it would be a good idea if you just took a little bit of time off.
To do what? Sit on a beach and think about how miserable I am?
No, I don't mean that at all. It's if you could just be with some people who... I don't know what I mean. It just seems to me that when things go wrong in your life, that it's very difficult to maintain the usual routine.
Well, don't people usually say that work is the best medicine?
Now, yes, they say that, but they also say that a change of scenery does one a lot of good.
Somehow scenery isn't very important to me anymore. Funny how things change. I used to think the view from my penthouse terrace was so beautiful. Now I don't even look at it anymore. It may as well be a brick wall. I guess things lose importance as you grow older. All except one thing. People that you care about, and people that care about you.
Yeah. I suppose that's true. But, you know, still, I think a brief vacation might be...
No! No matter where I go or what I do, all I'll wind up doing is thinking about Elliott. And how he made a fool of me, and how he lied to me, and how I hate him for it.
Oh, Margo!
It's funny. I never thought I'd ever hate anyone, but good old Elliott has changed that. The man is an unfeeling, selfish monster. And I do hate him for it.
All right, deep breath and hold it. Exhale.
Doctor.
Once again.
Doctor.
Just one more minute, Mr. Madison.
Fine.
Exhale.
Sorry.
Once more. Exhale.
Oh, and I really feel terrible about this. It's all my fault.
It certainly is a tribute to your makeup skills, Noah. You really frightened that guy.
Well, he should have been used to me looking like this. I showed him the makeup the other night.
I know, we just can't go on like this, Jason. Every time we try to do a scene, every time we rehearse a scene, something goes wrong.
This is not the first picture to have problems, Owen.
I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if the rumor's true.
He is all right now, Mr. Madison.
Oh, Dr. Kavanaugh. Well, what is it? Do you know what's wrong with it?
Well, as a matter of fact, his test results came back late yesterday, and I was right about the blood sugar. It is low. Have you ever heard of a disease called hypoglycemia?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what he's suffering from. He'll be all right if he just takes care of himself.
Well, I'll talk to him.
I told him he ought to take a day or two off.
We can't afford any more days, Doctor.
Well, you can't afford to lose your star either. Oh, except, of course, you're the real star, Mrs. Madison. That is you, isn't it?
Yes, Doctor, it is. May I say I'm delighted that you weren't sure.
Trent, feeling all right?
I feel rotten. I have felt rotten since the day that I signed to do this dumb B-movie turkey of yours.
Look, Trent, I talked to the doctor and he knows what's wrong with you. It's hypoglycemia.
It is nothing of the kind. Nothing was wrong with me until I got mixed up with the Mansion of the Damned. Well, now I've got a cure for that. I am getting out of this picture, this damn picture, right away. You know, the whole thing has a curse on
Now,
it.
just a minute, Trent.
Look, everybody is cursed. Don't you know that? But the best thing you can do is just shut down the production of the whole damn movie. Look, if you don't look out, everybody's gonna end up dead. Well, that's not gonna happen to me. Look, I've had enough of this. Look, I quit!